Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Dump and Change. Today, Avery and I just wanted to come on together and kind of reintroduce ourselves and talk about how much things have changed since we've started. It's been 3 months since our first video, and that one sucked.
Terrible.
So we just wanted to come on and kind of almost redo it, but also just talk about how much we've grown since the start of the show. Avery, would you like to go first?
Yeah, and I think that even because so many people have watched our first video, a lot of people don't know why we're doing this. So just to kind of tell our new followers what's happening. Mm-hmm. So we're both on the St. Cloud State women's hockey team. I'm Avery Myers.
I'm JoJo Choback.
We both transferred here, actually, and we are seniors. Our season, unfortunately, just ended. And so not ideal,
no,
but
it wasn't great. But it does give us more time to do this. So plenty of time on our hands here.
Yeah, so I transferred from the University of New Hampshire, kind of just wanted to play in the WCHA closer to home. I'm from North Dakota. So it's been great. Wouldn't change it for the world. I love it here. And we have been pretty successful from what St. Cloud used to be. Still not where we want to be, but I think we're getting there.
Yeah.
We both have our 5th years left, so we're not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure if I'm taking it. We have meetings next week.
Yeah, I don't know either. But so, yeah, I kind of got here. I came from University of Minnesota Duluth, so I was still in the WCHA, but obviously transferred here for just kind of hockey opportunity reasons. I think that I'm a goalie, unfortunately, so I think that the opportunities at St. Cloud were a bit more appealing to me. And yeah, that's kind of how we ended up here. And with our podcast, it was kind of weird. We were approached by our coach, and she kind of mentioned something about doing a podcast, just talking about hockey and whatever's going on. I'm not really sure. What do you think that they like expected from us when they offered that?
I don't know, because I know they were like talking about different ideas and different people, but JoJo and I are loud.
We're talkers.
We talk a lot, so I don't know if they expected it to just be hockey, but when we heard about this, we were like, we didn't want to make it just hockey.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that limits our audience, that limits the guests that we can have on.
Not only that, and it's not all that we talk about, and I think that there's a lot more depth behind us that a lot of people might not notice if you only know us about hockey.
And I don't think I could come on here and talk about hockey every day.
No, it's all we do all the time, so I think that's enough.
Yeah, so we started it and just kind of been coming up with new ideas as we go. Like we started the vlogs, obviously, and it seems like people love those, and they're so fun to make. I love watching them. And we have some segments coming up with other teams and whatnot. So we're getting new ideas, and with where the show is going, we aren't sure.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, and obviously because we do run it through our like school production kind of stuff, we might not always have these resources in the future, and so just taking full advantage of the time that we have here, and whether or not we are going to be still here next year, just trying to make the most of it.
Yeah, I guess the ultimate goal is to just spread the word about St. Cloud State and our women's program. I feel like it's done that. I work at the ticket office, and I had someone come in and buy a ticket and say, like, I like the vlog. It's got you some new fans. They came to some games. So I think it's been helpful, and even just having other athletes on and everything like that, just spreading the word about St. Cloud State athletics, having other hockey players on. Mm-hmm. I think it's been good.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think has been your favorite part about doing this so far?
I feel like I've learned so much. Like, I do the editing, so the studio films these episodes, and then they send them to me, and I do any editing that we need with the vlogs, everything. So I've kind of had to teach myself all of that, and I have learned a lot. It is counting for one of my marketing electives, which is nice. Yeah. So it counts for one of my classes, but Yeah.
And that's fun, too, that you get to do that for our class.
Yeah. How about you?
I think it's just been exciting to meet everyone, honestly. Having people on that we would have probably never spoken to and or met had we not had our show or had a platform. And I mean, who doesn't want to like come on a show and talk about themselves? So.
A few people, actually.
Yeah.
We actually have run into some trouble. Not trouble, but
Just, I don't know.
I think that people think that we started this on our own. This is all our idea. We're like, we're gonna blow up. We're gonna become famous. We can drop everything and do this the rest of our lives.
And sure, that'd be great.
If you guys want to make it happen, like that would be great. But no, it's to spread the word about women's hockey, our program, get more people to our games. So hopefully this video will get that through some people's heads. But yeah, we've run into some problems of people being like,
we've gotten different excuses, I think, and whether or not they're accurate or not, like it's the whole, it's not for me. And I get that, like maybe podcasts and talking about yourself for 45 minutes isn't up everyone's alley, but other people, I think that they just don't want to do it. I don't know if it has something to do with like us and they think that we're, I don't know, like using them to gain notoriety, but that's not necessarily the case. Like we love giving everyone a platform to talk about their kind of journey in athletics and whether or not they're playing or coaching. I think just hearing from a variety of people has been super eye-opening and opened a lot of doors for us and connections-wise.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's been good. So hopefully we can continue this as long as we're still here and maybe even after, or maybe someone will take over. We're not sure. We're not sure what it's going to look like in the summer, but it's been fun.
Yeah. In talking about our first episode, I kind of want to touch on like how we think that ourselves as people who do now run a podcast, how do you think that you've changed since the first episode?
Well, if you watched,
don't, but
I was like so nervous.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge talker. For anyone that knows me. Like I am the loudest person probably in every room, but I don't know. Like I was just so nervous. I've never done it before. And it's not an interview. Like it wasn't like someone asking me questions. So it's harder. And I don't know. I just think I've become a better talker and we're able to like, we don't have our episodes planned. Like when we have guests on, it's fully conversational.
Yeah.
And so I just think,
like we do like research on who we're interviewing just to get a background of them and maybe like articles or games that they've played in and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's much more fluid now. And I just think back to like our first episode and we're sitting here before like they even like started the show and we're, okay, so I'm going to say this and then you're going to say this and then I'm going to say, so just very scripted. And I think a lot of it now is much more fluid, which I think other people kind of notice that too. Like, I feel have your parents noticed?
I think, like they know the first one's terrible, but other people have just said, like, I've been like, I want to delete the first episode because it's so bad. It's getting all of our views. That's the first episode everyone goes to watch. And then they're like, I'm not going to watch another one. Actually, that was horrible. Yeah. So I don't know. Also, it's good to see the progress, but I do feel like people that are watching the first one are done.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I wonder if there's like statistics on it on YouTube, but it has gotten the most views, and I'm not trying to like downplay like where we started from. Obviously, it's kind of amazing to see, but I don't want that to be the whole like focus point, because I think when everyone starts something like this, they don't really know what they're doing. Like that's the whole point of starting anything. You don't know what you're doing. You're kind of taking a step into unknown territory, and that's not always going to be a smooth transition, which was evident. But I think it's been a lot better now, and now we can just have fun with it and relax. And, I mean, I don't know. We talk about what we want to do with the episode for maybe like 10 minutes, maybe on the car ride over here.
Yeah.
And then other than that, no. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to see the progress.
What do you think has been the hardest part about it?
I think the challenges we just touched on, like just us being people's friends. Like a lot of the people that come on the show are our friends. Mm-hmm. So we've run into some incidences where like we have a plan where someone's coming on the episode and last minute they're like flaking or whatever. And And you wouldn't do that in like a professional setting, in a professional interview. Like, you're going to make the time. And so because we're people's like friends, it's different, but it's not, because we have to find time to film and we have to do all this stuff. So that's been hard. And just like, I don't know, also what we talked about earlier, people just thinking like, just not wanting to come on, or like chirping us for it.
Yeah. But I think the whole professional standpoint is really important. I think that, I mean, at the end of the day, it is kind of like I don't want to say business, but you know what I mean? Like, we're running a business. But it is. And it's really hard for us to find time in between, like, our schedules and with the people that work here and all that they do all the time. So we do take the whole planning part very seriously with it. And I think that as it's grown, like, I feel like that happened more often from the start when people didn't really know what to expect from this. But I feel like it's gotten slightly better. And also just being aware of, like, who we're asking to come on and are they going to treat it as such, you know?
Yeah, we've blacklisted some people from,
Some people are
from the show.
If they ever hope of coming on, too bad.
When we go big and they're begging us to come on, we'll remember that one day when we had 117 subscribers.
118.
Oh, let's go.
The social media part of it has been really cool. I think that, especially in today's age, a lot of what you're like bringing to the table has to do with how you promote it on social media. Yeah. And we've
learned a lot about that.
We've had a ton of different like platforms with it on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok even, which I feel like is honestly one of the best ways to get people these days, because who isn't on it? But that's just been another exciting part of it, and just trying to get people to see what we're trying to do here is super exciting. We can wrap up with the end of our season.
So
everyone's favorite part to talk about.
We just lost, as you all know.
First round of playoffs.
I honestly don't think that we expected it. We expected ourselves from the beginning of this season, when we were winning some big games. We had high expectations for ourselves. Second half, we got in some sort of slump, could not score, and that took us all the way through. We didn't score in our playoff series against Duluth.
And granted, I think their goalies are really good, but at the same time, like, statistically, you get a certain amount of shots on net, one of them's got to go in. And the fact that, you know, none of them went in, that I don't know what really that
so
came
frustrating.
From,
I have no idea. Like, we've had meetings about it as a team. We've talked so much, and we have skilled players. We have girls that can score. We had depth. And so I don't know what it was, but it was so frustrating, especially like out shooting teams in a lot of games and still coming out with a loss is so frustrating, because those are games you just should win.
Right. And it's not like we're playing bad. It's just the execution of like finishing.
Yeah, which is maybe even worse.
It is worse.
It's probably easier to figure out why you're playing bad.
Yeah, like, because we go into these games and we're like, oh, like we could totally beat this team. Like, we're better than this team. And then for whatever reason, it just doesn't happen the way we want it to. Yeah. Maybe it wasn't God's plan this year.
Maybe not. And
a little disappointing, but.
And if you guys didn't notice, I do have a cast on. Yes. I broke my wrist. If you watch the vlog, it's already out. Friday game. I don't think I explained how I broke it. So Friday game,
I don't even know.
Third period, last shift, obviously, because I wasn't going back out there after that. I ran into someone. We just collided, and my arm went either like this or like this. I don't remember. And immediately I was like, my arm is broken. I went to the bench. I'm like, I couldn't speak because I was in so much pain. Like, we're losing. I'm like, this is just the worst situation ever. Like, we're losing. Our trainer, Rachel, was like, does this hurt? Does this hurt moving my arm around? I'm like,
everything.
Yeah. And I couldn't, like, answer her. Like, I could not speak. Like, I was like
mute for once in her life. She was silent.
That'll shut me up. Yeah. And so then after the game, saw the doctor, and they didn't really think it was anything too bad, but they were like, go get an x-ray, check it out. And I went and got an x-ray, and my radius is broken in my wrist. So I this is Friday. We had a Saturday game. We lost Friday. I'm like, this could be my last game, but also, like, I want to be there. I want to help the team. Like, I want to play. So I was trying to figure out a way to get a cast because at that point I was in a sling. But they wouldn't cast me because of swelling. So I just took the sling off.
And we tried to do everything. We were like, ibuprofen, ice, let's go. I ran down the hallway, got a bucket of ice for Avery's hand.
We were icing my
It was
massive fingers. My fingers were huge. But I did go in warm-ups. I couldn't tie my skates or anything.
So funny. No, Avery's shooting in warm-ups. We do the whole, like, waterfall drill at the end. Avery shoots the puck. It's like,
no, I could not
it was like
shoot.
somebody who's trying to saucer a puck that, like, just doesn't know how to.
Yeah, I was begging to play. I was begging my trainer to find out, like, any way to get me in a cast, just take off my thing. I just had a little brace on and some tape. So my arm, like, wasn't super stable, but it was fine. But I could not, like, I got a pass, and I was like, everyone, like, be careful, like, give me some soft passes to start, and it still was hurting. Passes. And I was just trying to use my top hand, but, like, it was so hard, and I couldn't shoot. I couldn't do anything, and I was still hoping, like, I was like, hey, Coach, I can go out there and just, like, buzz around with one arm and just body people. But I didn't end up getting out there, which maybe is a good thing because I probably would have broke it worse. But.
Texted Coach the night before. She was like, hey, Coach, what was it? Hey, Coach.
He texted me, and he was like, sorry to hear about your arm or something. And then
yeah, thank you. Like, but I'm ready to go tomorrow.
No, I was completely ready to play. Like, if I was, like, in the locker room, I was like, hey, like, I'm ready. Like, I'm gonna play, but don't give me the puck. Like, I'm just out there to grind, which, body people. Yeah. But I was also convinced I was going to score, though, if I played one-handed. Like, those things just happen.
Yeah, those things do happen.
If your arm's broken, you're going to score.
Yeah, and damn, we could have used you out there.
We could have.
What are you hoping for in your meeting next week?
I'm hoping to hear that I'm wanted back. I don't know, just I love to, like, hear what other people think of, like, the year and how I did and what they expected from me and what they got from me and what their expectations are moving forward. So yeah, I think that'll be good. How about you?
I don't know. One thing I like about end of the year meetings is, like, it's the opportunity for coaches to say everything to you that they maybe probably couldn't say to you in the middle of the year, whether it was, like, line or logistic wise, or they didn't want to mess up your game, they didn't want to mess up other people's game. And so it's just, like, an all-encompassing, like, great opportunity for them to kind of lay everything out there about what they thought, and you to kind of do the same. You know, obviously there's not always, like, a good time to ask certain questions, or there's various things going on, and obviously the coaches are very busy too. So I think that, and you don't have meetings with them very often. I mean, you guys do video, but I don't really meet with coaches that often unless I, like, need to. So I think for mine, I'm just hoping to obviously be invited back. We'll see how that goes. And then
fingers crossed.
Just kind of hear what they had to think about my year. I think it ended a lot better than it started. But I don't know. From a goalie standpoint, it's kind of difficult because it's not always easy to hear what people that were normally traditionally players have to hear about your game. But I think Coach does a really good job of, at least in my last year's meeting, he did a really good job of kind of just saying what he thought briefly, not too technically. I'm just hoping to chat about some things and be better next year if I'm here.
Fingers crossed, everyone. Send some prayers our way. But
we'll let you know ASAP.
Yeah, we'll give an update. Mm-hmm. But I think that's it. Yeah. Hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of a better understanding of our show, why we do it, and who we are.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thank you guys for watching. We will see you next time on Dump and Change.